evening and welcome. My name is Carrie Quinlan Joe, and I'm the Director of Fine Arts here for New Bedford Public Schools. I am so pleased that you chose to join us tonight at this 11th annual district-wide art show. And here to offer a welcoming words and remarks is our Superintendent, Pia Durkin.
Thank you so much. First, I want to thank you for coming out on such a beautiful spring night to celebrate your children's achievements. And if your children are not being represented here, thank you for coming as a community member. We are very, very proud that New Bedford Public Schools is a system that is focused on the arts, because we believe that children who expand themselves into all kinds of learning in the arts become better students in reading, in math, and in the areas they want to learn from. We also believe that we have in our audience, as well as you walk through the halls, incredible, incredible budding artists that one day are going to say, I got my start in New Bedford Public Schools. But we need help, and we need support to know that the arts are just as important to your children as reading, writing, math, and all the other subject areas. So we hope tonight that you enjoy seeing this. Make sure you take time to look at all the schools. It's a tremendous amount of work, 3,500 pieces of art. It is one of the largest in New England, if not the largest. It takes a lot of work for our teachers to put this together, and I want to thank each and every one of them who really helped your children become who they are today, excited artists as well as learners in the larger world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Durkin. At this time, I'd like to welcome up representatives from our school committee, Dr. Larry Finnerty and Mr. Joshua Amaral.
Good evening. It's so wonderful to see this display every year. It lights up this building. It just shows the value of arts education to the whole child. It brings out everybody's creativity, initiative, and imagination. If we have enough time to pause at each one of the displays and really look at what the child has put into it, it's amazing. And it was really wonderful to see the students from the high school about Seussical, the musical, because that's what we want our children to be doing as they go through schools. Be participating in clubs and working with others cooperatively, whether it's in arts, music, dance, or whatever. This part of our education is extremely important. Nothing is more important than this part. There's athletics, there's academics, but the arts is extremely important to the well-rounded child. I want to congratulate the parents, the grandparents, the guardians, and especially the students. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. I want to start by saying there are two things that shocked me tonight. One, to any parent who walked around the whole building and saw all the schools, it is how large this building is. It must have taken me about a half an hour to get from there back around to that side. But along the way, I saw the other thing that kind of surprised me. And it shouldn't surprise me, but it is the talent of our kids in New Bedford. The artwork out there is fantastic. From the high school kids, the oldest kids there, all the way down to the kindergartners. And the students in our elementary schools, the work is fabulous, and the parents and the students, you should be so proud of the work that's been done here. I want to thank the teachers for their help in organizing this event, along with Ms. Quinlan Joe. It is fantastic, and the turnout is absolutely outstanding. After a long week of looking at budget numbers and playing politics with the figures, it's really refreshing to see parents and students interacting, and students running over to their artwork and saying, you know, Mom, that's mine. I did that. It's up here for display. So that gives me kind of a warm feeling, and it validates all the work that we do. And I'm thankful to be in this position and thankful to be here tonight. So thank you.
So next we'd like to welcome to the stage the President of the City Council, and I'm not sure if I saw him here yet. I'm looking around and I do not see him. So we were going to welcome Brian Gomes, who is going to join us. I'm wondering if there are any other city councilors.
Councilor Lopes is here.
Fantastic. I'd hate to put you on the spot, but maybe you're here to fill in. So Counselor Lopes, if you could please come to the stage and give your remarks and warm welcome.
I wasn't expecting to speak. I come every year to see the amazing artwork that the kids do, and you know, as school committee member Amaral said, it's truly some amazing work. I stopped at so many different pieces of work, from the Keith Middle School to the high school to some of the abstract whales that were done. It was amazing work, and I focused on the schools in my area, Roosevelt and Gomes and Taylor, but so many kids did an amazing work. You should be commended for it, and as Josh said, I can't count the number of kids that said, this is my work. That is truly an amazing thing, and it brought back to when I was a kid in elementary school, 4th and 6th grade, I was lucky enough to be where you are today. I had a couple things go on tour, and believe it or not, I still have my 6th grade project at home that I was extremely proud of, so I know the feelings that all of you were feeling, and my parents know what you felt like, so congratulations, and thank you to all the teachers. Thank you to the school committee and Superintendent Durkin for knowing how important the arts are, and we all play politics, but we all know how important music and the arts are, and we all want to make sure that the kids in school get to keep that, because not every kid wants to play football. Some kids want to do graphic design, some kids want to do music, and we have to make a well-rounded student, and we do that with the arts and music. So thank you, and congratulations to everyone.
So we have a great program for you tonight after the welcome and remarks. We also have a fantastic artist who's going to speak with you very soon. But I do want you to know that this night would not be possible without the teachers, and we will be thanking them all personally in a few minutes. So we have many artists that work with our students. We have great art educators who are artists in their own right, and I do hope you'll go upstairs and see the art exhibit that we have of professional work, which is also our art teachers. But then we also have what we call artists in residence, and this is when someone from our community who is a professional artist living and working as an artist comes in and works with our students. And so we have the privilege this year to welcome Andrews, and he's been working with the Roosevelt Middle School and many other places, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about how he came to be an artist, how he continues to be an artist, and he's right here from New Bedford living and working, and please welcome him to the stage right now, Andrews.
Thank you. Is that my Roosevelt representing over there? It is indeed. How's everyone doing tonight? Good? I wanted to start off, me being a visual guy, I wanted to show you a few visuals that kind of get you in the right state of mind to get a sense of what I do for a living. I've got my assistant, you don't see him, he's like a stage ninja, you don't see him. Again, so my name is Roger Andrews. I am a professional illustrator, which basically means I am a freelancer, which basically means I freelance for a lot of companies like Hasbro and Mattel and Disney, and my lot in life is to do commercial art. And what makes commercial art different from fine arts is that essentially it's me doing artwork for products and for things that are part of your life. So let's start by giving you a little test. I'm going to show you a few visuals, and I want to see if you can recognize any of these things. See if any of these things seem familiar to you. Give it a slide. Does anybody recognize any of this stuff? You do, huh? Who is that, by the way? Spider-Man. Yeah, you might have heard of that one. Let's see. Next slide. Let's see. How about this guy? Anybody recognize that guy? Captain America, right? You might have been in the movies and seen him more recently. Next one. How about those guys? Yes, indeed. All right, give it a switch. How about these guys? These guys seem familiar at all? That's right, Optimus and who's the other guy? Bumblebee, right. Let me see, is it that guy? Right. So guess what? Guess what all these things have in common? Yeah, I drew them. And thank you. Thank you. So what you need to understand is, essentially, I do this for a living, but I started off in the New Bedford public school system. I actually started off in the first class at Gomes Middle School down the South End, and then I transferred over to Campbell, Gomes Elementary, and then I transferred up to Campbell up in the North End, and then from there I went to Normandan, and then from there I went to Roosevelt. So I've kind of made my way around the city. And I just wanted a lot of the students and the parents to understand that if you encourage your students, your kids to do this, there is actually a light at the end of that tunnel. There is careers in art. Not necessarily what I do, you keep flipping, in toy design, which is primarily one of my main occupations. Also in poster art, yeah, Angry Birds, and a lot of it in design, and a lot of that stuff I got sort of the inkling for when I was a child. And through public school, I was able to kind of be fostered, and I was able to kind of get a path. And I think that's what you guys need to all understand, that once you get a path and you get a passion, you follow that, and you too can work on stuff like this. Therefore, you know. And so let me give you a little sense of, you know, so obviously I'm from New Bedford, went all the way through to through high school here. I graduated back in, I'm gonna say, a little while ago. And so I actually, right out of school, came back to live in New Bedford and work in New Bedford. I literally worked right out of my house, right down the south end like I always have. And so what I wanted to say in saying that is that there's no reason why we can't keep a lot of this talent here at home. You know, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to have lived and worked all over the country and all over the world. And for some reason I keep coming home. And I don't think there's any reason why all our talented people need to go elsewhere. And I don't see why we shouldn't have pride in our city and stay here and continue to work and to strive here. Does anybody recognize any of these additional characters? Give it a flip, son. Yeah, as you can see, there's a variety of different styles I like to employ. A lot of the stuff I've done has been for games, for Hasbro. As you can recognize, I don't know who remembers some of these games from back in the day. And these literally are done at my computer, at my home. And so what I'd like, you might not recognize that one so much. Hey, you can keep flipping. And so I just want to close with this. Like, I think a lot of, it's been my sense that people in New Bedford don't have the adequate enough amount of pride, I think, in the city. And I think we've got to work hard to convert that. And just in my experience being a judge and seeing all this wonderful artwork from all the students from all over the city, I'm incredibly impressed, and I'm actually optimistic to see like the art future being flourished. And I definitely would like to thank Carrie and all the members of the school committee and school board, and I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have a good evening.
Isn't he awesome? Let's hear it again. So, as Roger said, he's from New Bedford. He got his start in art here in New Bedford. He's traveled the world and done many, many different things with his artwork because, you know, you don't have to be Picasso or paint big murals on the side of buildings. There are so many things you can do with your art. And here's another thing that you might not think of. As an artist, you've learned how to see differently. You've learned how to create. You've learned teamwork. If you have worked on murals or collaborative projects, you've really learned some of the skills that they call 21st century skills that every student is going to need as they go forward in college and career. So really think about what you learn as an artist and how you grow and how you're going to take that with you and share your gift, however that may be. So we were really fortunate to hear from Roger. If you want to see more of his images, like I said, upstairs on the second floor, he has a big display up there, along with some of the great artwork that your teachers have done. So, Counselor Gomes was lost in the artwork. Can you believe it? You can believe it. It was the 3,500 pieces. So he made his way down here, and we'd like to welcome him to the stage to give his remarks. Please welcome Counselor Brian Gomes, and also recognizing Counselor Steve Martin.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. There you go. I was lost. I was lost in art all over this building, and I didn't know where I was supposed to go. And then they finally told me the auditorium. And I almost hit my head coming up the stairs just now, and that's because I'm about 6'2". But I want to say on behalf of the City Council and my colleagues, I know Councilor Lopes, the first Vice President, has already spoke to you. We're joined by the second Vice President, Steve Martins, and I know you're going to hear from the Mayor very shortly. But the arts in the city of New Bedford is alive and well. Give yourself a round of applause. Especially coming out of our public school system, the way this has, I was walking around, I'm just simply amazed of what I have seen. And that is the time and effort of many, I'm sure, that put a lot of time into it. And I'm here to tell you thank you very much. And I'm here to also tell you that I support the arts in the city. I support the arts in the school. I will continue to support the arts in the school. You won't see any cuts coming from us. I know my colleagues collectively believe in what we're seeing in the city, not only here in our historic district. The arts and culture in this city is alive and well. So to all the students, that's who I'm here to say to tonight, for inviting me here and to see the beautiful pieces of art that I have seen across this building. Thank you very much for what you do. To all those that are responsible for this event, thank you very much, and God bless you all. Have a great evening.
So we have a couple of awards to give out, and I do want to let you know that every child who has work in this exhibit, there's over 3,500 of you, will get a certificate, but not on this stage because we would be here until tomorrow morning and no one would get any sleep. So what we do is we make all the certificates, we send them to the school, and then your art teacher will give it to you personally. So I do want you to know that everybody who has a piece of work in the show will get a beautiful certificate, all in color that you can frame and put on your wall. We also have many awards that were given out to our secondary level. Now some people ask me, now why do we not give out awards to the elementary level? And the reason is that we want elementary students to focus on being creative and imaginative and learning about the process of art and not even thinking twice about whether they're going to win or not win, because that's not what art is about. But when we get to the secondary level, we know that students have committed themselves. They've really dedicated themselves to their craft, and they've really thought deeply about some of the work that they want to do. And so that's why we think that at the secondary level, we should honor that, because it's very clear to the judges who's put in a lot of hard work and effort into their pieces. So we do have many awards. We have about 30 gold awards, and the gold awards are ones that will move on to the state level, to the Scholastic Art Awards. So if you received a gold award, your teacher would have told you already, and you will get a beautiful certificate and a ribbon that says Gold Award. We'll scan your artwork and send it to the Scholastic Art Awards. We also have silver awards. Oh, by the way, this is the beautiful gold ribbon that you'll get. We also have silver awards, which are also, we have about 35 of them, and they'll look like this, and you will also get that at your school from your teacher with a beautiful certificate. But tonight we want to honor 3 students, and we do hope that they were able to make it tonight. So for the first time ever, we have 2 Best in Show awards. And we had 5 judges from the community, professional artists and folks that live, breathe, and eat art. Well, probably not. And they went around and saw every single piece of secondary art. And they said they just simply could not choose between these 2. And one of them happened to be a middle school, and one of them happened to be a high school. So we said, well, then we'll give 2 awards. So we have 2 Best in Show awards. And then we also have a special judges award. And that means that the judges thought that this was exceptional, something really worth noting. And that particular one is for the portfolio of work. This individual had about 6 pieces displayed throughout the exhibits, and they thought they were all exemplary. So what I did, we usually get a beautiful certificate, a medal, and these things. But this year I did something a little different. I said to myself, these students are really part of the fabric of New Bedford. They really are now part of the culture of downtown New Bedford and our arts and culture community. So I put it out to the community and I said, could you give something to these students to recognize them? And these are the people who stepped forward. First of all, First Citizens, who's the sponsor for tonight's AHA Night, gave them a gift card right off the bat. I said, we'd love to. The Roach Jones Duff House are giving these 3 winners a family admission ticket. The Whaling Museum is also giving them family admission. The Zeiterion is giving them tickets to a show. The New Bedford Art Museum and Artworks is giving them a one-year family membership, which includes a discount on their art classes. They'll also get a $25 Michael's gift card, and that's from private donors who just wanted to give something to the students, and a $30 mega pizza from Domino's. So what a prize package, don't you think? I was really excited. You can clap. We'd like to thank our sponsors. So the first person of these awardees, thank you. Excuse me. So the first person of these awardees, we're going to hold for 1 second, because I do know that there are some dignitaries here that would like to speak to you, and they have to get to their other meetings. So we're going to do that first. So, Councilor Martins? It's the mayor. Okay. Perfect. We've got this now. So we'd like to welcome to the stage Mayor Mitchell to send his warm regards. Mayor Mitchell.
This time. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody. Well, listen, I've been running around between events like I always do about this time of year on Thursday nights, and I wanted to make sure that I got here because every year this is a lot of fun. This is one of the most fun events all year round because I get to see all the great work that you guys and all of your friends are doing in school, and this year is no exception. What I've seen outside and what I've seen in your schools is fantastic, and I hope that you step back and say, I had fun making what I made, and even more importantly, I learned something in the process, and more important than that, I hope you all say I'm very proud of what I did, because you should be. It took what I saw out there, without exception, was great work, really hard work, and you know, arts in our school system play a very vital role in the development of the whole student, the whole child. And so this is why we support the expansion of the arts program under Carrie, who does such a phenomenal job. And I know it's well supported by the superintendent and by the school committee and the city council. And so I don't want to go on for long. I know you guys have other stuff to do tonight, but I just wanted to say, what you're doing right now is a big part of the rebirth of New Bedford. What New Bedford is, among other things, is an artistic community. We really relish the arts. We do so in a very genuine way, and it's because we value it so much for its own sake. So I just want to say thanks to all the students for putting time and effort into it. Same thing, certainly for the faculty and staff in our school system. And I just want to say thanks to all the parents for supporting your kids and bringing them out tonight and having some fun. I hope you all go out in downtown tonight and have some fun. But of course, assuming your homework's all done tonight. So that comes first. But anyway, thanks everybody, and keep at it.
If you haven't noticed, if you're right around 6 feet tall, you're going to whack your head. So as long as the next 3 people are not 6 feet tall, you should be okay. So thank you for waiting. And what I'd like to do is welcome up to the stage, if she is here, Miss Meng Lian. Is she here right now? I do hope, but perhaps she is not. So Meng Lian is one of our students at New Bedford High School. We're going to welcome her teacher up to the stage, Miss Nancy Hawes, to accept her prize. So that was our Special Judges Award, and if you go up into this hallway over here, you'll see 2 or 3 pieces, 4 or 5 by Meng, and they're actually very fine pieces. So our middle school Best in Show is going to Sarah Gifford. Is Sarah here? Wonderful, welcome Sarah. Sarah's piece Roderiques is featured on our cover here. It's this beautiful green apple, and Sarah is in the 7th grade at Normandan Middle School. And now for our last Best in Show, which is a student from our brand new advanced placement, that's AP Studio Art class at the high school. We are very pleased to give this last award. Excuse me a second. I want to make sure I pronounce her name right. To Miss Cheyenne Cahoon. Is Cheyenne here? Then accepting on her behalf will be her teacher, who is Miss Mary Ellen Nokimo. At this time, we'd like to welcome all of the art teachers to the stage. I know that many of you are here. If you could please come up. We have a brief word of thanks for you. So if all of the art teachers could come up, and Dr. Durkin, if you could join me again, please. Now, I know we have more art teachers. They're probably in the halls. So, because I know I saw all of them here tonight, every one of them. But what I'd really like to do, see, oh, you don't have all the newbies here yet. I wanted to recognize Miss Patricia Regan, who is retiring tonight, this year. She's retiring this year. She's not up here right now. She must be with her students. So please give her a really big round of applause. She's been with our school district for many, many years. And then as we have folks that are retiring, we also have folks that have just begun with us. So I'd like to recognize our first year teachers, and we do have one of them here on the stage, and that's Mr. Jonathan Bowles. And we have two other first-year teachers that I do not see in this illustrious lineup, but I do want to recognize them, and one of them is Jocelyn Phillips, and she's upstairs, probably with her students, so you'd give her a big round of applause. And another first-year teacher that I almost forgot is Miss Jennifer Baldwin, who is over here with her students with the Parker School. So let's thank them all for joining our New Bedford team. Now the teachers up here, they put in so much time and effort into the show, and I do want to share this with you. I share it every year. When I first came here 11 years ago, I said to the art teachers, if you could change one thing, if you could improve on anything in your district, what would it be? And some of you were around then, and you said, we want our art show back. And I said, well then let's do it. And they probably never realized how big it would become, but they put in an awful lot of work, and they really do so much for your kids on a daily basis. So I do want to thank you all from the bottom of our heart. Thank you very much. And I'd like to say a few more quick closing remarks, and then we'll hear from Dr. Durkin to close our program. So none of this is possible without the whole community pitching in. And we talked a little bit about our sponsors. We talked about AHA, which is this wonderful program we have here in New Bedford. But I want you to know that for tonight to happen, it was a huge effort by our maintenance staff who brought down all of the art exhibits, by our custodians who clean the place to gleam as brightly as it gleams usually. And we do hope that in the future we're going to be renovating this space, but for right now they made it really great for us. We want to thank our food staff. If you haven't eaten our beautiful cookies upstairs yet and punch, then please go up and get that. Of course, we want to thank our teachers, the administrators at the schools who make it all possible for you to have scheduling that works out just so you can have all of your art classes. The arts are growing. We're growing really strong here in New Bedford Public Schools. Like I said, 11 years ago when I started, we didn't have what we now have, and it's because of the teachers, the administrators, the school committee who put it all in place. We now have very strong programs at the high school level, at the middle school level, where when I first started, there were no programs at certain schools. There was no art at all. At the elementary level, we have performing and visual arts magnet schools. We have more schools this year than ever before having art on a weekly basis. But you need to know this as parents, as grandparents, as people out in the community. We're at the place where we can make this happen for every kid in our entire district. So please think deeply when you hear about the budget this coming year, when you put your support behind what the school committee is proposing, because it will get visual art, music, and physical education for every child in this system on a weekly basis. And we've never had that before. So we really do hope that you tell your elected officials that you support this budget. Thank you for coming out tonight. We really appreciate you coming, and please enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of the art show. Thank you. Have a great night.